the thing with Volkov is he sets a pace that's quite steady and consistent. And if you get stuck in that pace, much like most of his opponents do, we saw Derek Lewis caught in it for a couple of rounds until he was able to put his foot on the gas and change the speed of the fight and was able to land something explosive. That is definitely something that Tom can do. There's no doubt about it. Although Volkov, to us, regular humans, looks massive, and he looks huge. He's a giant human being. From Tom Aspinall's perspective, he's not that much bigger. 2 inches in height, a couple of inches in reach. It made no difference when Volkov fought Stefan Struve that he had a height and reach disadvantage, and he still fought like the taller guy. The good thing about Volkov is that he fights like a tall guy, and sometimes tall individuals don't develop good jabs and good front kicks and teeps and good long-range weapons. They tend to get kind of tangled up very quickly, and the vulnerability of taller guys is, as we've seen Mark Hunt and Roy Nelson do to a bunch of them, you back them up against the fence and you club them over the top with the right hand, and then the height actually starts to work to a disadvantage. With Volkov being able to fight so well as a tall individual, those a couple of inches in height and reach do make a difference to a lot of fighters. He was able to keep Walt Harris on the outside and really poke and prod at him and work his midsection. That's something that Tom has to get around in this fight, because even though, height and reach won't seem massive from Tom's perspective, they could seem prevalent in the fight because Volkov's so good at utilizing those attributes. He will play a steady pace. He'll keep working that teep, that jab into the midsection, which then starts to break the posture of his opponents. They start to try and move it with their hands, and that opens them up for the following shots. He's a very experienced fighter, is Volkov. He's not really going to want to fight off his back too much. Of course, with the amount of experience and years that he's been doing it, he does have a good grappling game, but it's just not something we see him use a great deal. I think he's maybe got two submissions on his record. So, this might be a circumstance where Tom wants to nullify the height and reach advantage by putting him on his back. 3 wins by submission, I'm sorry. Volkov has recently come off that unanimous decision loss to Cyril Gane, which was a 25-minute fight. He lost to Curtis Blades over 25 minutes. So, his odds aren't great when it goes into deeper rounds, but the one time recently where he's won a fight in the championship rounds was actually in London when he headlined against Verdum. So you've got to think, not only has Volkov been in several 5-round fights, he's also fought at UFC London in the main event, and he stopped another former champion in Fabricio Verdum. He's going to feel very confident coming in here that he's going to be able to shut Tom down. It's going to have to be Tom that breaks the pace of the fight and the range of the fight and close him down and manage that energy. Because what I wouldn't like to see is Tom get really excited and hyped up by the crowd in the first round. He catches Volkov and he kind of gets rocked and he looks like he's out, and then Tom goes chasing after him and expends all of his energy and has that adrenaline dump, and then he's done for the rest of the fight, because in there against Volkov, he'll slowly find a way to shut you down.